What's going on, everyone? This is the Popcorn Heroes review of Insecure Season 4, Episode 7?
8.
Or 8?
I think it's 8.
Episode 8.
It's
there
8.
We go.
Yeah, it's 8.
There you go, baby.
It's 8. Yeah, episode
Two
8.
more. Two more and we're almost done. I am Armando. With me today is, back for the first time, Mike.
Hey.
What up, dude? What's up? And then we got God's Gift, Orlando. What's going on, dude?
What's going on, guys?
All right, as usual, we're talking about HBO's Insecure. This is a spoiler-tastic discussion. There's nothing here happening that is not spoilers. So if you haven't seen the episode, pause it, come back.
All that good stuff.
But let's get started. How did you guys feel about the episode?
So it happened, dude. Finally, the conversation that they definitely needed to happen finally happened. I think this is one of the, like, cinematography wise, this is the best directed, best visual in terms of cinematography. So yeah, I think it was just generally a good episode, a much needed episode for the two characters. Yeah, highly enjoyed it.
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I thought, I don't know if this is the best. Actually, no, this is probably the best episode of the season so far for me as well. I agree with everything Orlando said. Just how it was shot. I like that the entire episode focused on them two, and that it wasn't like over a long period of time. It was just the whole, like, them going back on the first date or whatever. It was a nice vibe for the episode.
Yeah, I agree with both of you, man. I think this is. I think I really like these. At this point, since we understand the characters and where they are, I like these snapshots in time of their lives.
Yeah,
and they just focus on one, on one character or group of characters. Like last episode, we had the Molly one with her boyfriend. That was pretty cool. It's just a snapshot, just focused on them. The one before, it was only about Issa, and that was pretty cool. And this one just is also in the same vein of, let's just focus on these two characters and the moments that they're sharing, and I love that. I really enjoyed that type of, like, storytelling, but it can only happen if you understand the characters and seeing their journey and seeing where they've gone, seeing what they're going through, because it can't. I'm not saying it can't, but it's not as effective as it is right now. And I think that episode of both of them together, I love seeing Lawrence whenever he's on screen, dude. Like, I think he's a super cool guy. Like, I love that guy. So whenever I see him, I'm just like, damn, this is awesome. I love spending time with him.
You are such a Lawrence hype, like.
Dude, I'm a big fan of Lawrence.
I was talking
Lawrence all the way.
I was talking to someone about it, and they fucking can't stand Lawrence. Like, they just think he's so trash. Like, I talked to a lot of girls about
trash.
Why?
I mean, you know what?
Because he stepped up. That's why he made his life better.
So I talked to a lot of girls about Lawrence, and they can't stand Lawrence because Lawrence has a communication problems that he addressed, obviously, in this episode. But for a long time, Lawrence was just like, "Oh shit, you're giving me problems. I'm gonna bounce." That was basically his MO. Like, for like 4 seasons.
Yeah.
You know?
So.
I'm just saying, like, he doesn't address his issues, and then, like, he just, like, we talked about this already, he seems like he just has a scapegoat ready, like, oh, it's not me, it's them, kind of thing, and so,
oh man, but he was with Issa for so many years, so they can't really say that. They're talking about a person who's been hurt, and of course he's gonna be shutting down things that, like, you're not good enough, it's not like he was a hurt person. This is not
with just Issa. This is with, like, Condola, with the coworker.
Exactly, he's still a hurt person.
The coworker he dated, like, he does this. Like,
you're adding to my point, because this has been maybe a year, 2 years since he broke up with Issa,
right? So
he's still going through that hurt, that pain, that untrust, that he doesn't trust somebody. So they're talking shit about somebody who has experienced something negatively, like cheating affects people negatively. in a lot of different ways. And in
Right.
him, it was just like, fuck everybody. I don't trust anybody,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna be a fuckboy, and I'm gonna do this.
I know you
And
guys.
that's his way of dealing with the pain.
I know you guys are Lawrence hives. I'm just saying. I'm just bringing another perspective into the conversation.
I understand what you're saying, but the thing is
Yeah.
that perspective. If he was like this without being hurt, I would agree with you. I'm like, yeah, for sure, dude. He's just a douche, whatever. But he's been hurt, so how and why wouldn't he act that way? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not like he's been in healthy relationships and he's just been like finding excuses just to get out of them. Like, oh,
Right, of course.
I want to live my crazy life. Like, he's been hurt. So they're talking shit about somebody who's experienced pain, and the same thing goes to a girl. If a girl goes through that, like, how do they treat guys after that? You know what I'm saying? They're
Everything
insecure.
changes.
They don't trust you. Even if you're new in their life, they're like, oh, who you talking to? Oh, who you doing this for? Oh, where you going? Like no, I'm not that guy who cheated on you. So it's the same crap. Like, he prefer avoids tough situations, and just better be. I'm just gonna do me. That's what he's been doing. So I don't know. I think that's kind of messed up to judge him because of what he's been through, and I wouldn't judge anyone coming off of somebody cheating on them. Like, your perspective changes about everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely in the camp of like, I understand both characters. Like, I'm not a team Lauren, not a team Issa kind of person, because like, let's be real, like, I've been in both scenarios and I've done shit. So like, I've been a Issa, I've been a Lauren, so I kind of understand like both sides. So I'm not gonna be like, yeah, Lawrence all the way, or yeah, Issa all the way, when I clearly understand like what both of them are going through. But
Yeah.
it's just interesting talking to people and then hearing their thoughts of like about this, because I'm in insecure wise, I'm kind of in a bubble. 'Cause I talked to you guys about it, and that's pretty much it. So like, and all of us agree that we all like Lawrence, like at the end of the day. So it's interesting
of
just to get
course.
another perspective. It's interesting to get another perspective of how women view him, of how like, obviously like, like there is that like divide, team Lawrence, team Issa, but it's interesting to
Let
get
me ask you a question. How do those women view Issa?
they view Issa with also having her issues, clearly, with like her.
Oh, but they don't hate her though.
I mean, I guess not. I guess.
Yeah, you see, I don't.
I think
That's some two-faced shit right
but
there.
I don't think it's a two-faced shit. I think it's just like kind of like you ride for like not for your gender, but it's kind of like you understand like the complexities of your gender. So you like understand what it is like to be a guy and to fuck around. Because we are guys and most of us have fucked around. So as we get that. We understand that concept. And for women, they probably understand the idea of like dealing with a guy who ain't shit and then cheating. You know what I'm saying? So like at the end of the day,
I'm not saying what happened, what Issa did is bad or wrong. I understand her point. I understand what she went through. I'm just saying that like you can't be like, oh man, Issa's the best, even though she cheated, and then be like, oh, Lawrence is a little bitch because he doesn't talk to girls and he does not communicate. I'm just kind of like, oh, like that's so what's that word? It's
hypocritical.
Yeah, it's super hypocritical.
Like I said, the people I have
you either understand them or you don't.
The people I have talked to about it, like they definitely, like I said, like they understand that Issa has her. It'd be interesting. We should get a female, a woman's perspective on the show. Definitely.
Do you have anybody who watches the show?
I guess, yeah, but yeah. So I would have to ask if they'd be interested in coming on the show, but definitely
We could do it for the finale. It gives you 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay. So definitely it would be an interesting it's definitely a voice that needs to be heard, because like I said, I talked to people about this, and like I think I'm not going to speak for women, but for at least what I'm getting is that like, yeah, they understand that Issa has her problems, and at the end of the day, but they understand her because I think like us, we've been in Lawrence's shoes, like most of us have. So it's like we can understand Lawrence, and I think the same thing goes for like women and Issa. Like they can understand Issa. So I think it's just a sense of like being in that.
So you're saying that women are not empathetic.
I'm not saying that. No, no. I'm not saying that. I'm just.
That's what he's saying.
kinda what it
'Cause the
sounds
thing
like
is
you're
that
saying.
because what you're like, check out gender. Fuck gender. Let's just talk about what they did and who they are as a person, right?
Right. Okay.
You have to understand both of them as people. Like Issa went through her shit because Lawrence was fucking annoying. He's a deadbeat who wasn't doing anything. He had no motivation. He didn't care about you. He wasn't showing you love or affection. And you understand why Issa did what she did.
Of course, right. Definitely.
Now, the aftermath, you have to understand why Lawrence did what he's doing. It's because he's a hurt guy. He's like, oh man, fuck girls. I'm gonna, this girl cheated on me. I'm not gonna trust any girl anymore, and I'm just gonna do me, and I'm just gonna fuck around. So people are judging him because he fucked around. So it's a messed up thing to think about. Of like, oh, only because he was fucking around. He's a shit guy.
Well,
I'm just like, you can't be there.
The criticism,
even if a girl were to do that, she's not a shit girl.
The criticism that I hear, it's not that he's the problem. He's fucking around. The criticism is that he's not addressing like his issues. Like that's the criticism I hear. They don't really care he's fucking around. Like he's just not addressing like the skeletons in his closets, essentially.
That's deeper. That's pointless though, because then what you're saying is that his character flaw is not that he's a man or anything like that. It's that it's a interpersonal thing of a person who doesn't like to communicate or isn't communicating because he's afraid to share his feelings. So why would you hate a person who, again, has trauma, who has some certain things about him that he's not willing or is afraid to open up? It's
definitely a conversation that we need another voice. Like I cannot speak for like the people I've talked to. You know what I'm saying? Like it's definitely it's definitely, like I said, I'm just bringing in a perspective that I've heard, but I can't speak for these people who have told me this. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, like, hey, you guys as well. You guys probably know other women that watch Insecure. We have 2 weeks. How about?
Nah, actually, you're the only people I know who watch Insecure.
Oh my fucking god! You guys.
Apart from Mel's friend from Tampa, they like that show.
Okay,
that's the other people I know.
I don't even know. Yeah. I don't even know them.
Oh, don't you remember when we went to Busch Gardens? Mel's friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he remembers Busch Gardens.
Those are the two people.
I think I'll ask around, whatever, and see if anyone wants to be on a podcast. But in general, like I said, I'm not going to speak for people opinion. Like I'm just putting in a perspective that has brought to me, but I'm not going to be like, yeah, this is exactly what they think about the situation. But I just think in general, let's just go back to the episode. I think definitely it was an episode of dealing with, like we talked about it, like they needed this episode. They needed to talk about like what fundamentally went wrong in their relationship.
Yep. Exactly. Very true.
And I think this season has been a lot about addressing like the issues that a character has and like looking it in the eye. So I think Lawrence more than Issa needed this.
You think so?
I think so. I think because like I think for a while, like Issa knows like what happened in her mind. Like she knows like this is what went wrong. Maybe I need to vocalize it, but I know exactly why I did what I did. I know exactly why this was going on.
Yeah.
And I think she understood why Lawrence was in a slump. Like, even though Lawrence said what happened, I think she, for the most part, understood like what his mentality was going on, what he was going through.
Sure.
So I think it's Lawrence that needed to hear like, yo, like,
what happened?
You weren't treating me. Yeah, exactly. You weren't treating me the way I needed to be treated. So I think Lawrence needed that more than her.
I agree with that. Yeah. No, you put it into perspective. Yeah, he definitely needed that more.
Yeah, it was a tough conversation for both of them to have.
And
something they never talked about or wanted to talk about.
Yeah, and honestly, I think like, I think they nailed it, dude. Honestly, I think they came at it with like, it's hard to have those conversations and not get like overly emotional, and like once you get overly emotional, it's kind of like hard to continue or to like see the other person's side or hear them out because you're just fucking like either yelling or crying or whatever, and it's hard to have that conversation. I think they handled it really well, and I think it's because they gave it enough time of a separation that like, look, we're not together and we probably won't be together, So it's okay that we could talk about this without getting like overly emotional. And I think that's key into moving on or like moving forward together, regardless of what they decide to do.
Yeah, that's very true. What did you guys think about the whole Condola part that, you know, she kept on popping up through the messages?
Nigga, go ahead, Lawrence.
I wouldn't, damn, dude. Like, it's funny because like we were talking that like, hey, the show is clearly trying to like mislead us. Like, did he reach out to Condola? Did he reach out to Issa? Clearly, he reached out to both of them. Like,
That's
we
true.
just don't know. We just don't know like who. Like, he probably set up one with Issa earlier and then one later with Condola. Like, clearly, he reached out to both women and was like, fuck it, I'm gonna address both of these people.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny for the show to do because all of us were just like, oh shit, who did he reach out to? And this nigga was like, nah, I'm getting all of it. I'm getting the whole fucking bag. Like,
Yeah.
So it's definitely, I don't think it's fucked up, but damn, dude, like, be like, BRB, and that's it. Like, put your fucking phone away, mute that shit. Like, I don't understand why you need.
What I didn't like is how he called Condola when Issa was still there. I'm just like, dude, she was on her way out. Couldn't you just wait 2 minutes for this girl to leave and then call the Condola like, yo, what up? You know,
it's better that
I just find it to be idiotic.
It's better that he called her because then Issa made the choice she's gonna fight for her man.
Nah.
Yeah, so that's an interesting point you said there.
But I don't think that he was doing it in like in a malicious way. Like, oh yeah, let me show you that like I still got shit going on. Like, I don't think he was doing that. Like, it's weird because like when
he was just being stupid.
When she went to the bathroom and he has his phone, he like was texting. He like had like a smirk on his face, like, yeah, I got this shit. Like, I'm gonna fuck both of them. Like, I don't know. And the thing is, he doesn't strike me as like, I'm gonna fuck both of these chicks. I'm gonna mess with them really badly. That's not what like his intentions are coming offhand. But it's like, dude, just what are you doing? Like,
you always gotta have a backup plan. The first plan looked like it might not go through.
It seemed like Condola was so down for whatever interaction that she can get that like clearly if it didn't happen tonight, Tuesday is perfectly fine, even though she's just like, can we do it tonight? Bitch, you would have taken Tuesday just fine. You are chasing this man. It sounds like you would have been. It sounds like she would have been okay with like the next day. Like, I understand. So it's just like, Lawrence, you know you can get this later. So just put your phone away.
No. If plan A fails, you gotta have plan B. Some nights you gotta make sure you have a plan B. There's no alternative.
So you guys feel that he is gonna talk to Condola right after this?
Hell yeah,
for sure. At the end of the day, like, I think them hooking up and them having sex was mostly on Issa, kind of like, yo, I enjoyed this day, and I know like if I leave, you're going to like go to Condola, like. And I just
so essentially what Mike said, that she was fighting for him,
right? And it's like, and I don't think she was fighting for him, but like she was fighting for the night. Kind of like, this night has gone so well for both of us. Like, let me have tonight. I don't think it's like, oh, we're gonna get back together or this means something. I think it was just like, this night has been going on so well. I want tonight. You know, because like it doesn't like even their goodbye was kind of like, all right, like, I'll catch you later, like no biggie, you know. Especially like he bought out San Fran, you know, like kind of like, yeah, it looks like I'm going. So she was like, all right. She was just like, cool. Like, it doesn't seem like she was just like, please stay, or like, well, let's work this out. And like, she was like, okay. You know, it definitely felt like it was kind of like, for tonight is our night. That's how I took it. And I think for her, like, I do think it was like an ego thing of like, damn, like, we're gonna literally like heal our wounds together, and then you're gonna go fuck somebody else. No. Tonight we fucking, like, I think that's what it was. Like, oh, so you're gonna literally like come up in here, make me feel amazing, and then go fuck someone else. No, that's not happening. We fucking tonight. I think that was the gesture. Like,
so it was jealousy.
I don't think it was jealousy. More
That
like
is a little jealousy, yeah.
maybe jealousy, but I just think it was kind of like I said, tonight's our night. Like it went so well, like, and I'm just gonna let this just be like what it is. And like, nah, let's put the icing on top of the cake. You know, like.
Yeah, I get your point. That's true. So how did you like their interactions together? It seemed like they were old friends just catching up as you know.
It did just the entire conversation, how comfortable they were with each other, like how even like when they would get serious, they would like joke a little bit. That they have like a natural chemistry on the show.
Right, and it's good because like technically we've seen it, but it's always been slightly awkward. And the thing is, like, we're introduced to them as in the middle of like their like peak worst moment, you know, like.
Yeah.
So you don't fully get to see them like fully embrace like, yo, I think in general when you have chemistry with someone, it doesn't really go away. I just think like you just decide that like, all right, we ain't gonna fuck, but clearly we get along, you know, and so. You finally saw that chemistry, that clearly we get along, clearly we can have a banter, clearly we have chemistry, and we never fully seen that between these two characters.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because every other moment that we've seen from the show has been their awkwardness.
Yeah,
like you saw the hints of like, hey, you know, these inside jokes we have, but they were very short-lived.
Yeah, I think when you see moments of them having a good time, they kind of catch themselves like, oh shit, why are we laughing, or why are we enjoying this too much? So like, all right, let's stop, because we're not together, let's stop. And so we've seen glimpses of that, and this is the first time where like not only are we seeing like a full moment of like, okay, we can literally enjoy each other's company, have a good banter, have a good conversation, but also be real, and we just haven't got that.
Yeah, you got something to say, Mike?
Nah, man, I'm good.
Yo.
I agree with what he's saying, man.
Alright, good.
What about that moment when they ran into Issa's ex?
That guy is so hilarious.
Fuck buddy.
It just added to the I guess the awkwardness of the date. Just them bonding. That just seems like a classic moment for them.
Yeah, and it was good because it was just like you saw like not that he had to be jealous, but you saw like all right, like all right, you did your shit, like all right, look at you, fucking this dude, like all right, get out there, like it's like he had really like.
He's only cocky because it's like a weird looking overweight guy. If she came in with like a model, he'd be like, wait, what? This dude was fucking after me?
Well, I mean, technically speaking, she was fucking Daniel after. So.
Yeah, but Daniel ain't want her. You feel kind of good when the person they cheat on you with don't want them either.
Like, none of us want her good.
Man.
Yeah,
but he still stay pulling chicks though. If you look at the TSA guy, he had this chick on his arm, super skinny.
He has like no filter. He's just like, yo, how do you know Issa? Yeah, we fucked a lot, and it's just like his girl's like right there, like looking at her phone. She makes no facial expression, like yeah, whatever. He pays the bills. Like she literally had like the like whatever. He's gonna buy me dinner tonight. It's all good. Like
that's how it is. They don't be worried about your past.
It's not about the future that matters, man.
Exactly.
I did like the part where Lawrence tells her, all right, man, I gotta go, and then he just disappears. I thought that was so good.
Yeah, I believe it.
I thought for a second that he left. I was like, oh shit, all right, cool, time to see Condola now.
Yeah, I thought it was really fucked up. They played that really well.
Yeah, they played it really well. And then they ended up going to the art walk, you know. That looks better than
just their whole date makes me like, damn, I wish I could be out there fucking dating like that. That shit looks amazing. They had a nice ass fucking date. I'm stuck. Anyways. This shit
quarantine what? Quarantine, you missing dates? You missing
Yeah, man, that shit, man, being inside all day, not fuck that. Just a combination of seeing them go out on a date And on the previous episode, seeing Molly out on a fucking tropical island enjoying life. Like, damn, nigga. I can't do shit.
It's funny
It's
because
in your face, man.
it's funny because like I remember like, you know, with everything going on, Insecure was just kind of like, it's kind of weird to promote an episode right now during these times, but hopefully this is like a little break. But like, not only like is this a break from reality, it's kind of like, fuck, dude, I miss reality. I miss like normalcy.
Exactly. It's because the show is so lifelike that, damn, they can go to a taco truck. They can do whatever the fuck they want right now and be fine.
Like, y'all got no problems. Like, it's really weird watching TV now. Like, just off topic. It's really weird watching shows and TVs and being like, oh shit, we can't do that anymore.
No, that's gone.
I was watching Hot Ones and Shaq was on it, and he was opening the bottles of like hot sauce with his fucking mouth, and I was like, yo, don't you fucking dare. I got triggered. I was just like, yo, what are you fucking doing? Like, watching shows now is so weird because I'm just like, where's your fucking mask? Why are you standing next to that person?
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But yeah, and that's pretty much the episode. Other than from their lift ride with the lady that was very chatty.
Oh my god,
Mike has a lot of experiences with that.
I hate those lift shots. Every time I just see that, any kind of reference to that in the show, I think is amazing. But yeah, annoying ass lift drivers. And she specifically said in the beginning she doesn't even understand why anyone would want your driver to talk to you.
Yeah.
What, so
I don't have enough experiences with that.
So you found out basically that Lawrence bought a ring, like he was gonna propose and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was well, he thought they was gonna be together forever. He ain't have to do shit.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's it was expected if they're being together for so long.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that bad time they had, and it just kind of all fell apart after that. So I think it was expected that he would have done that. And I guess it's crazy how she took that shockingly. Like she didn't expect that he would have done that for her.
Yeah.
I think
it's.
Go ahead.
Go on, you go ahead.
No, because from her point of view, I never, I guess, even thought of that before. But she felt like Lawrence just didn't want her anymore, and I always thought. Well, I guess that is kind of that's not what I always thought. But even back then, damn, I lost my train of thought. I completely lost my train of thought.
I mean, I don't find it surprising. Like, obviously, like you said, like they've been together for a long time. So when you're with someone for a long time, that conversation happens, quite often. So, so yeah, it's not out of left field that he bought her a ring. Clearly, so, it's just like I guess it's weird that he bought it knowing like I guess he didn't read the room, of like, yo, like you gotta step up your shit before you propose. But yeah. I think it was kind of like, cause I think he was aware that he was in the dumps, and I think maybe in his mind he was like, all right, if I propose, this ring's gonna fix something. Cause like,
you don't think it was genuine?
I think it was genuine, but I think it's just like, I think because he talks about how he felt like it was hard watching her go to work, and he had like no like compass, like he had no idea where he was going. So I for sure think that like he thought, okay, if I propose, it might fix like how I'm feeling, or it might fix our dynamic. I definitely think that he thought marriage would fix like their like relationship. It's not being it wasn't said, but clearly like that's what I was thinking. Like, you think this is gonna make everything better, but it's not.
Yeah, a lot of people think like that. That just marrying or proposing or just popping up with a ring will save a relationship. That shit never works.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much the episode. They ended up, at the end having sex, and
so what do you guys?
They just kind of left.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think that this is like a turning point for them? You think it's gonna like turn into something, or is it gonna be? But
I think it's a turning point to more friendliness between each other.
Yeah. But you don't think that might lead to something, or them trying to rekindle that old flame?
I don't know. I mean, if he leaves, what are they going to rekindle?
I mean, it's not like she's tied down to LA right now. With what she wants to do, she could be anywhere and try and do that.
It could be like the Ross and Rachel thing, where like at the end of Friends, Ross is like, "Oh, did she get on the plane?" And then she didn't get on the plane, and then they end up together. And that's how Friends ends. So it could be like this. It could literally be the same fucking thing, where like, oh shit, did Lawrence get on the plane, and he doesn't get on the plane, and then they're together. Like it literally could be the same exact.
It could be.
Which that would be fucking really annoying. But the show doesn't do anything like for tropes. And I think if they do get back together, it's gonna be like a whole rebuild of like what they are. Like the show is so organic that I feel like if they got back together, they would talk about like, hey, we should do counseling, or I would assume that they would bring that up, or like, hey, maybe we should work on these issues. Like, I just feel like they won't get back together, and it's gonna be like, yeah, like nothing ever happened, you know? Like, I think they've addressed the issue clearly of like what was their downfall, and I think if they got back together, they would try to build a better foundation than what they previously had, not just get back together and act like everything is like normal, you know?
I mean, they both have changed regardless, so they're not the same people they were when they were together.
But
and they're kept on referencing that in the episode,
right?
So I think it would be a completely different dynamic. Yeah. Any last thoughts, gents?
Mike?
So far, how do you think this season, well, since we're so close to the end, fares against the other seasons?
I think it's the best season.
Since the other seasons would be over by now, right? Yeah, they'd be on the finale.
Yeah. This would have been the finale. Man, that's a good question. I mean, for me, I think every season has been really good, you know?
They've all been really good, yeah.
But man, I don't know. I don't know if this classifies as the best one.
I would rate them so far, like I said, like, they're all really good. They're all like 9s and 10s. If I were to rate them, it'd be like 4, 1, 2, 3.
Have you rewatched them recently?
No, but I remember like you know the bullet points, you know. So
I don't remember them that well.
They kind of all blend in together, but I'm just trying to remember
Which was the season that barely had Lawrence in it? Was that season 2 or season 3?
That was season 2. So that was season 2. He came at the
that's
end.
at the bottom for me. Then it'd be 4, 1, 3, 2. Yeah.
4, 1, 3, 2. Yeah. I would say 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Half a season with no Lawrence. Get the fuck out of here.
I think Lawrence coming.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I think Lawrence coming in was what like made that shit like fucking crazy. So like, and then
I think
he's back.
Yeah, and then
someone had told me that they had actually said that Lawrence wasn't going to be in the season because people had asked why they weren't seeing him in any of the episodes, and they kind of alluded to him not just being in the season, and then randomly he popped up halfway through.
Yeah. I think he pops up like maybe like the second to last episode. He doesn't really pop up like but I think I just think the third season was not that it was bad. Like we said, like all episodes are good, but it just was like I didn't like. Everyone was kind of like stagnant, you know, in what they were doing. So like it's literally this season that everyone's taking a turning point. So
true.
So so
there's been a lot of growth between all of them.
A lot of growth this season.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I got 2 points for you, Mike. What about New is Always Better, man? What's going on with Lawrence? You think he's gonna go to Condola? Find some new tail?
Well, but Condola's not new no more though.
She's not new no more. They both old at this point.
On to the next.
But I think I don't think he's gonna be able to. I think one of them is going to make the choice for him, most likely. I don't think Lawrence is going to be able to choose.
That's a good point. So Condola essentially be like, later, man, I'm not going to deal with this.
Most likely it'll be Condola.
Yeah. And then I just thought about this right now. The point where they were talking about if they're happy, the moment like they were talking about and they were walking around like, are you happy? And then he was saying how he likes bringing other people's ideas to fruition.
Yeah.
And he likes being part of the team. Did you guys feel like Issa wasn't feeling that response? Because she was like, "Oh, you always said you wanted to do your own thing." And
I think it's just like it's just one of those things of growth. Like, oh, you're not the same person I knew. Like, you don't have the same like aspirations that you used to have. So it's interesting hearing you say that. I don't think it's not that she didn't buy it. I just think that like, oh wow, that's crazy because you've been talking so much about like owning your shit, like having your own idea and running your own thing. That for you to say that is so jarring from what I know of you.
Because to me, it felt like she didn't like that.
I got that same vibe. Like, damn, nigga, you ain't trying to be no boss no more? The fuck?
Yeah.
You guys always
like,
agree.
I'm a boss now, and you're not gonna be a boss.
You guys always agree
her.
on like. You guys always agree on like the subtle like facial expressions. You were like, oh, she looked a certain way. She meant this. Fuck that. Like,
man, you know what that means, nigga. Really?
Me and Mike be noticing those things,
yeah.
man. As soon as he started talking about that, she kind of like she had this face like, what?
Oh, broke ass
like,
nigga, what the fuck you talking about?
you want to work for other people? You don't want to be your own boss like me?
Yeah,
that's kind of the vibe I got from that.
I didn't get that vibe at all. I got the vibe of like, that's interesting. You're not the same person I know. Like, oh shit, you changed your mind. No, not like I'm looking down on you. More like, oh, I just didn't think you would say that because for so many years you've been about this other thing. So
yeah, you wanted to be a boss. Now you want to be a broke ass nigga. The fuck is wrong with you?
Nah, I don't think so. I definitely think that Issa not being judgmental. The thing is, one of the flaws that Issa had definitely was judging Lawrence for what he was doing when clearly she didn't have her shit together all the way.
Yeah.
So
real life.
Yeah. So I don't think that she's making that mistake twice. I don't think she's gonna be like, oh, well, I'm a boss now. Homie, you're not. You ran one event and that's it. Hopefully you become a boss, but you're not one yet.
She feeling herself.
So I don't think she's in that judgmental mindset when clearly, like, her losing Lawrence put her in her place of like, homie, your credit is bad. You have to move in with this dude. I don't think she's in that same judgmental mindset that she was back then.
Nah, I feel it. I can hear it in the back of her voice.
I don't know. It's just in that moment, her face wasn't like, oh, that's like she didn't have like, oh, that's interesting face. She had like,
you guys should really
like,
you guys should really be directors. You guys should really be directors. Like both of you, be like, hold up, your face does not read. I accept it.
That doesn't even make sense. That sounds like something you would say during an interview. Oh, I love bringing someone else's vision to like, the fuck? Nigga, get your own goddamn shit. Get your own vision. That's not something you tell somebody. Keep that shit to yourself. Oh, it just implies that you never want to move up in life. Huh?
Yeah, you always want to be number 2, number 1.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that. It just means that like maybe there is a lot going on with being number 1 or having your own shit that's like, yo, I'd rather not go to that hassle. If I could make my money and go home by 5 o'clock, cool beans, you know, like.
Maybe.
Nah,
yeah.
Right.
I don't know. It's just her face. It was just the way she reacted to the whole thing. She wasn't really like, excited about it. She was more like questioning him, like, wait, but why?
Yeah, you guys should definitely go be directors or acting coaches. Like, you guys have it. You guys definitely have it.
Me and Mike are gonna be directors for sure.
Every fucking episode, you guys analyze a fucking face. Like, this is like the 3rd time where you're like, oh, her face said this shit. Where you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You weren't paying attention.
It's all about the subtleties, man.
Yo.
Subtleties make everything.
Absolutely.
But why do you think Game of Thrones failed at the end? They didn't have the subtlety anymore, man.
It was all over the place, exactly.
Yo, for two guys who are constantly maybe like checking on women or macking on women, you guys try to read them really well. Like you guys are really good at reading them.
Don't lump me with how epic Mike is, okay? Because I'm never at that level. You know, I'm like subpar.
You guys have a rotating door of women coming in and out. You're like, yeah, I can read them like the back of my hand.
Dude, I'm not Mike, man. Why do you keep saying me?
I don't know why you're telling these lies.
I can barely talk to girls.
But yo, you're good at reading them, Mondo. You should be amazing talking to them. You know what it is? I don't put that much emphasis on like what their facial expression says. I'm just watching the show and I'm like, alright, whatever. Like,
well, yeah, because you're just watching it. I like watching more into it. You know?
I agree.
I don't know. It's just me. Anyways, hope everyone enjoyed this podcast, this discussion of HBO's Insecure. Let us know your thoughts on this episode. Are you enjoying the season so far? 2 more left, and it's over. Then we have nothing to talk about.
What are we gonna review after that? Like, who knows?
Dude, there's so much shit to review.
I don't want to. Honestly, I don't even watch.
I've watched 2 shows already right now, and I can literally review. But I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, keep waiting.
Anyways, you're the worst, Orlando. I'm telling you, you're gonna like it. Don't let it be 2 years from now, and you see like, oh my god, it's so good.
When did I do that? When did I do that?
Every time.
All the time. Anyways,
oh my! Shut up,
till next time.
Later, guys.
Outro.